Hi guys, happy Sunday. Welcome back to my channel, the Friendly Drama Queen channel. If you're new here, we talk about basically Korean dramas and I make list videos to recommend dramas that you can check out. In this video, I want to recommend some underrated, by my opinion, underrated romance K-dramas that you probably either forgot about, never heard about, or maybe you have. I don't know. But these are 14 of them. I watched them, I like them, and so I'm gonna go through the list. So if you like watching dramas, you should subscribe to this channel. Please leave a comment, say hi. I love to hear from you guys as always, and we're gonna get into it. Okay, we're getting to the list. So starting off at number 14, we have Dinner Mates. This one's a newer drama. It follows a woman and a man carrying emotional baggage from past relationships. They meet by chance on Jeju Island and bond over their love for food. Back in Seoul, they continue with their friendship, keeping their personal lives private, and they start running into each other in strange ways. Okay, so Dinner Mate was more of like a healing drama, and I really liked watching it because it was centered around food, and I loved this idea of like food therapy as it was explored in the drama. It also had like a really great male lead. Be expected to be very frustrated by the exes, because like the exes of the two leads were the main villains of the show, and they were like so aggravating to watch. Another really cool thing is the main actress is the second lead. She played Seo-dan in Crash Landed on You, which is like a big drama. So there were many references to that drama in this show. I think overall it was like a really nice watch, but it did start to lose a bit of its wow factor for me when they stopped being dinner mates, like when they like properly introduced themselves together and the show starts to tackle more difficult issues. So it's not like a really light drama. It tackles issues like mental illnesses and loneliness, emotional abuse, which is like not what you're expecting when you go right into it. But overall, I still think this is a good drama. At number 13, we have Good Job. Good Job is a story that follows the dual life of Eun Sun-woo, a chaebol who owns Eun-kang Group and runs a detective agency, and his romance with Don Sera, a woman with supervision who wears glasses to hide her ability. Their love story starts when they meet as Sarah takes on odd jobs to help others. Okay, the thing with Good Job, I think this drama was really fun and ridiculous. Keep that in mind, it's going to be ridiculous. There's a lot of plot holes, a lot of inconsistencies. The characters make very questionable decisions. So if you get really frustrated easily at like those kind of things in dramas, then I don't think this one is for you. For me, I was able to enjoy this drama because it is what I thought it was going to be. It's just an empty, quick, simple romance K-drama. Like, it's meant to be funny, ridiculous, over the top. You're supposed to turn your brain off while you watch it. I think the romance was cute, both with the main couple and the second lead couple. So yeah, as long as you're ready to turn off logic, you might enjoy this one. At number 12, we have Warm and Cozy. This follows two people facing setbacks and rejection in their careers and relationships. They find solace in each other's company on Jeju Island. Okay, Warm and Cozy, I watched this quite a while ago, so I have really fond memories of it. And the thing that was striking about it for me was the cinematography, because it heavily featured Jeju Island. It just made you want to like go visit because it was just so picturesque the way it was shot. I really enjoyed Kang Sora's character, like the female lead. It was nice. This is a Hong sisters drama, and they have other good dramas, and that's why this one is on this list, because I enjoyed it for what it was at that time. At number 11, we have I Need Romance 3. This follows Shin Ju-yeon, a successful 33-year-old fashion marketing director who has given up on finding her true love after failed relationships. Ju-won, who's a carefree 26-year-old songwriter, returns to Korea after 17 years abroad. They knew each other as children, with Ju-won having fond memories of their time together. Okay, so let me explain myself with I Need Romance 3. I really enjoyed this show, and it's the only one of the series that I have actually liked. So there's a series, I've watched 1 and 2, and 3 is the one I go back to. And I think it's strongly off of the male lead, Sung Chun, and the chemistry he has with the female lead. So this is a Nuna romance, which I typically kind of avoid. That's just not my trope of choice. But I think this is like the best Nuna romance that I've seen. I think the chemistry is great. I think the biggest frustration people have with this show is that the female lead is really frustrating. Like she really takes some time to come around, and she makes some like annoying decisions. But I think it's inherent to the way her character is written, so it's like nothing like out of the ordinary, I don't think. I also really love how female friendships were portrayed in this drama, and that was like a highlight for me, like outside of just even the main romance. I do highly recommend this one. Yeah, the chemistry is great. At number 10, we have One More Happy Ending. This drama follows the lives of Han Mimo, a former singer, and her friends in their 30s as they navigate the challenges of finding love after failed marriages and relationships. Early episodes of the show were like super cheesy, super funny, and it had Jang Nara, who I love watching. So I liked it for that. And it had the drunken marriage trope, which yes, that is a trope. I think that the show does start out really great. It does kind of starts to suffer towards the end because you have a really frustrating female lead who really takes her time in coming around. But this drama doesn't just focus on one main couple, right? It follows the lives of her friends as well. And they also have pretty interesting relationships that was nice to watch. Also, all the characters in this show are like in their 30s, so they're navigating a lot more mature issues and like serious topics, which was refreshing to watch. At number 9, we have Sly and Single Again. This follows Na Era, who falls in love with Cha Jung-woo, who is studying for civil service exams. They get married, but her dream of a happy life is shattered when he quits his job to start a startup business. She supports him, but eventually files for divorce due to the financial strain. Years later, she discovers his business is successful and joins as an intern to even the score, leading to a tumultuous relationship with her ex-husband. Okay, Sly and Single Again. I love this one. I do tend to watch these dramas that reunite divorced couples, and this was one of the earliest one that I watched because this is an oldie at this point. I found it very heartwarming. I found the main couple to be really sweet. Again, don't come into this drama expecting like super tight plot with like sound logic and just really well written characters. That sounds like a diss, but it's not. I think this is best enjoyed as a fluffy light piece, something you just turn on when you don't really want to think too much. I think it's not a very perfect drama, but it does have a sweet couple, and it was a fun watch for me. At number 8, we have 30 but 17. Woo Se-ri, a violin prodigy about to study film in Germany, falls into a coma after a bus accident and wakes up 13 years later at the age of 30, mentally still 17. And then you have Gong Woo-jin, who's traumatized by an event 13 years ago and then avoids relationships. Then they team up together to find happiness that they thought they lost at 17. Of course, falling in love. This one is just a feel-good, simple, and heartwarming drama. It's almost like a healing drama even, I would say. I found it really easy to connect with the characters in the drama and empathize with them. It's mostly about people dealing with life after tragedy. We have a male lead that's suffering from PTSD and a female lead who is coming to terms with the fact that she lost years of her life. So I think that one thing I really enjoyed is that this show doesn't really have like a main villain. It doesn't have like one person who's like an awful threats to the couple. They're just navigating life and trying to heal from the trauma, and like that is nice to watch because I do have a soft spot for kind of like these reflective slice of life type dramas, so that's why I kind of like this one. At number 7, we have an oldie but a goodie called Miss Korea. This is a simple drama. It follows an unattractive elevator operator during the 1997 financial crisis and a struggling cosmetics CEO. They team up to compete in the Miss Korea beauty pageant. Okay, Miss Korea. This is super, super underrated in my opinion. It's the underdog of all underdog dramas. It's hard to place this drama in like even just describing it, because it's not quite slice of life or like a full rom-com, but it also has like a family drama vibe. So it's just kind of in a tone of its own. But for me, the characters were a highlight in the show. Now, contrary to the name Miss Korea, the show doesn't really dive super deep into like the pageant world like I thought it would, because that would be interesting. But it focuses more on how anyone can face and overcome challenges by simply just believing in themselves and rising up to it. And that's just an inspiring message. But I think this drama was just so great. Like, everything felt so natural and realistic in this drama. Like, even with the progression of the romance, how they behaved as a couple, like how they even navigated in like the pageant world. I just found it extremely refreshing to watch. And in this show, the only reason it got buried, I think, is because it came out at the same time as You Who Came From the Stars. That was like a mega drama. And it just can't compete, you know? But if you can find this to watch, it is an old drama. It's an old drama, but I think that it was enjoyable for me. And if you can find it to watch, I highly recommend. At number 6, we have Heart to Heart. It follows Go Ye-suk, a successful psychiatrist who suffers from an inferiority complex, rendering him incapable of forming meaningful relationships with women, and Cha Hong-do, who has crippling sociophobia. Hong-do approaches Ye-suk's clinic for treatment, and they develop a mutual dependency. This drama was not love at first sight for me. It took me, I think, 3 tries to get into it. And I'm glad that I did, but I'm just saying that as a warning if you're gonna pick up this drama, because I found the male lead to be a lot for me initially. Like, he was just super unlikable, and the female lead was just a bit too quirky, and I wasn't familiar with either of the actors, and tonally it was just kind of confusing. So like, it was just a hard sell for me, but I did stick around. Eventually, when they got around to the melodramatic aspects, because there's a lot happening in this drama, I started to get a little bit more invested in the characters, because ultimately it's about 2 imperfect people who are growing and trying to find healing together. One more thing, you're just gonna have to ignore how mental health is portrayed in this drama. Just for your sanity, ignore it. And if you're sensitive to that, just don't watch this drama, is what I will say. We have the really quirky Dali and the Cocky Prince. Follows Moo-hak, a former peddler who now manages the global restaurant chain Dun Dun F&B. He's driven by money and lacks dignity or etiquette. Dali is an upper-class art gallery owner, and she faces financial difficulties after her father's death. Moo-hak becomes Dali's creditor, and they start a relationship. I think I watched it right as it was airing when it came out, and the thing I loved about it was the banter with the two main characters. Like, when they were on screen together, I loved them as a couple. I loved how playful the drama was. But this show is somehow, actually, I understand why. This show is polarizing. There are people who absolutely love it and swear by it, and then there are people who just like dropped it. One thing I would say is I did find it jarring, the amount of characters that resorted to shouting, and the male lead he did this too, and I think the shouting, or like the speech, the way they were talking, was meant to indicate like a class difference, because the show is kind of low-key about, like, you know, class differences and like a romance between 2 people from different classes. But the shouting was aggravating to hear from a bunch of characters. It wasn't just the male lead. But like, other than that, I just think the show was playful. It's short enough that I don't mind. I don't think anything really dragged or it was like angsty. You're either into this show or you're not, and that's fine. At number 4, we have Second to Last Love, and this romance features 40-something female television producer who is focused on retirement and has no interest in love. However, when she moves to a new town, she meets a widowed man with a child, and they begin a romantic relationship. I adored this drama. I think this drama is such a gem. It's a rom-com about 40-something. That is like not something I thought I would enjoy, but they were so adorable. The couple here were adorable. I think Kim Hya, she has a lot of other dramas. She's such a good actress. She's so great in this. The banter, the chemistry. I think this has high rewatch value as well. Actually, no, let me take that back, because my issue with this drama, and my only issue with this drama, is that I do think it is a bit too long. It has too many episodes. It's 20 episodes, and for the kind of story they were telling, so it's kind of a fluffier story. It has a slice of life feel. I don't think that it needed 20 episodes, but I did watch it all and I did like it, and I would recommend it still. At number 3, we have Hogu's Love. Hogu, who's never dated before, reunites with his first love, Dong-hee, a member of the national swimming team, who I guess has more masculine traits. Their reconnection leads to a complex romantic relationship. Hogu's Love, this one is just plain adorable. I mean, the male lead is unusual because he is considerate and sweet, and that's from the jump. This isn't like a jerk who becomes sweet later on. And he's almost portrayed to be a fool, someone who's dumb. But the more his character gets fleshed out, the more you see that that isn't really the case. He's just such a precious character. And Yui was also in this, and she was great. The show happens to tackle kind of a lot of serious issues, more serious than I would have been expecting, but it does it in a very sensitive way. So we have themes of single motherhood, sexuality, and even just abuse. And I don't let that all scare you, because still it's kind of wrapped in this really heartwarming bundle. And I think overall the show is just a nice heartwarming watch. Number 2, we have Beautiful Gongshim, and this follows a love story between a young woman named Gongshim. She meets a delinquent lawyer called Andante. She rents her rooftop room to him, and they become further involved when they both are trying to help a wealthy family find their kidnapped son. For me, this is a show that got better with each episode. It was kind of slow to pull me in, but when it did, I was all in. The first thing that struck me with the show is how funny it was, because it's fallen in the realm of a quirky romance. That's starting to be a genre of its own, quirky characters, eccentric characters, and the romance there. But this one is an oldie at this point. I loved the female lead. I thought she was hilarious in her delivery. She was deadpan a lot of the times. This also has Nam Goong-min, who I love all his dramas, so I tend to watch anything he's in. So if you're gonna watch this, expect over-the-top antics, quirky characters, and a mystery side plot that you may or may not find frustrating. But overall, it's a fun ride. And finally, at number 1, I think my number 1 pick for underrated romance is Do You Like Brands? And this follows 2 very introverted music students who end up forming a relationship. Sung defies her family's wishes and enrolls in music school of her university despite previously studying business. And as an older student, she struggles to adapt. Do you like Brahms? Okay, so for me, this drama is really special. I love music. I like slice of life dramas, and I love reflective romance, and this drama has all those things. And it features 2 introverts falling in love. And how special is that? Because first of all, I wouldn't say it's rare to see introverts in K-dramas, but to see 2 of them, both the male and the female lead are introverts, navigating a romance, it's so interesting to watch. On the flip side of that, because they're 2 introverts, there's going to be a lot of angst. This drama has a lot of angst. There's not just one, but there's 2 love triangles in this. So if you don't like love triangles, be warned. But I will say it is pretty clear who's meant to be with together and who's not. Basically, I'm trying to say it's pretty clear who the main couple should be. So even with the love triangles, it's not super confusing. It's just more frustrating on an angst point of view. I thought the main couple were just the absolute cutest every time they were on screen together. When they actually became a couple, I think I rewatched that episode more than one time. And the love confession scene is just the most precious love confession that I've seen in any K-drama. I just really highly recommend this one. It's not going to be for everyone. If you don't really like the quieter type slice of life romance, you're not going to like this one very much. But from this list, there are other like quirky, more fluffier pieces that you can pick up. So yeah, there you have it. I've given you 14 underrated K-dramas, romance that I love. Let me know what your picks are for underrated romance. You can put them in the comments section and we can chat as well. And I will catch you in our next video. Bye!